I only buy the finest tea leaves, sister. See, POPF.
POPF is indicated on the pack.
Sister, the art of tea.
A very good evening and welcome to this Sunday's edition of Weekend Primetime News. I'm Arundhati Mudannaika. First a look at the stories making headlines tonight. Fishermen in certain areas abstain from fishing due to the inclement weather condition. A system to be introduced to grant approval within 3 months to foreign direct investment flowing into the country. The teacher who was punished by the Provincial Council Minister receives threat by an unknown group. And weightlifting champion Chintanagi Tal sets new Sri Lanka record. And now the stories in detail. A national program to distribute fresh milk to students of the Kilinochi Wadakachi Mahavidyalaya took place yesterday. This was held under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
This national program was initiated with the aim of creating a healthy nation with active children through proper nutrition. The Presidential Media Unit noted that this program will be implemented in schools across the islands. Meanwhile, President Mahinda Rajapaksa inspected the Mullatiu Nandikadalke Patilau housing project yesterday. This housing project, which was constructed with the assistance of the Sri Lanka Army, consists of 165 houses. Under this program, 50 houses were handed over to the public and the village will also be provided with electricity under the patronage of the President.
Speaking in Kandy today, Cabinet spokesperson Minister Keheli Rambukwala spoke of preparations to dissolve 2 provincial councils.
It is not the minister that decides. This is done by the governor on the instructions of the relevant chief minister. But any government has the right to do this within the constitutional time frame. During our group meetings, we arrived at some decisions and it is difficult for me to proclaim them here. But within the coming week, we expect to dissolve 2 provincial councils. I must especially note that the president has made a statement that we expect to take steps to hold an election for the Northern Provincial Council.
Authorities at the Met Department say they expect winds along the coastal areas of the island to weaken today. According to this satellite image obtained from the AccuWeather website, wind speeds will be between 30 and 40 km per hour. Rains can be expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa central and southern provinces. There is a possibility that winds may strengthen over the seas off the coast of the western province to Potovilwa, the southern province. Wind speeds could reach up to 50 km per hour. Authorities at the Met Department have warned that those using vessels that are incapable of withstanding such weather conditions should refrain from setting out to sea. While fishermen in the southern parts of the country have refrained from setting out to sea as yet, following the extreme weather experienced on the 6th of this month, fishermen from other areas including Dehiwala have decided to return to the ocean.
The seas off the coast of Balapitia can still be seen to be choppy. As a result, fishermen in the area are yet to set out to sea again and have tied down their boats to protect them. As a result of not setting out to sea for 9 days now, these fishermen are facing a number of problems. Usually we need about 400 to 500 rupees a day. We need about 500 rupees a day to have 3 square meals. We are only having a meal a day now. People have no way of eating either.
There are about 2,000 fishermen in this village. We ask that they be provided with relief. Fishing is their occupation. They have not learnt anything else.
We cannot secure our children without a job. Children have no way of going to school. We ask that we be given some relief so that we can live. While fishermen in Balapitia have refrained from setting out to sea, anticipating relief, fishermen in Dehiwala have taken matters into their own hands. They say that since the authorities are not taking steps to provide them with relief to abate their children's hunger, they have decided to return to the ocean. People cannot have a daily meal. The fishermen are in despair. We are going to the sea today as well to do our job and earn some money. We cannot wait for the government to give us something. From today we have to set out to sea and earn some money, even if we have to sacrifice our lives. There are about 450 to 500 families for these 300 boats. There are about 1,500 people who depend on this. These people are living in hunger with no job. So regardless of what laws are imposed, these people are prepared to go do their jobs violating those laws. Meanwhile, 10 fishermen are still missing following the tragedy last week.
Our sons and grandsons went in search of them. They weren't in any of the hospitals or mortuaries. So we cannot bring bodies of other people that we cannot identify and bury them as our own kin.
The two-day workshop on how a lifeguard should act in case of an emergency situation concluded today. The workshop was carried out at the Valavatta beach.
Lifeguards scattered all over the island took part in this workshop. Several instructors of our association followed a course in Australia recently. So this workshop was organized with the hope of sharing this knowledge among all lifeguards in the country. There are school lifeguards, military lifeguards, especially those in the Navy, the police, Civil Defence Force and also those from the Sri Lanka Coast Conservation Department. All have been called here and the workshop was a success. Yesterday, the participants were given the theory knowledge of life saving, while the second day was dedicated for practical knowledge.
The police have received a complaint that a group claiming to be aides of the Northwestern Provincial Council alleged to have made a teacher kneel down in front of her students have attempted to intimidate the teacher once again. The police say that they have recorded statements from the teacher and her family regarding the incident.
The police say that the teacher had lodged a complaint claiming that a group that arrived at her residence at about 1:30 am had circled the house and then banged on the front door. The Northwestern Provincial Councillor Ananda Sarat Kumara, who is alleged to have made the teacher in charge of discipline at the Navodaya school in Navagategama kneel down in front of her students, has been arrested and remanded until tomorrow. It was reported yesterday that the teacher had been made to undergo this treatment as she had taken disciplinary action against a group of students, including the provincial councillor's daughter.
Two bikes came here and then they tooted the horn and shone the lights on the house, called out, and then after a little while they turned and left. My husband witnessed it. My husband looked through the window but was unable to identify them. He said they called out, but I do not know if they called me by name.
Meanwhile, various parties commented on this issue today. Incidents of this nature have taken place in the recent past around public officials. The government did not take any action with regard to any of these incidents. As a result, we have come to the situation where provincial councillor is punishing a teacher. It has come to a level where a teacher was made to kneel down. This is very serious. We charge that the government must take full responsibility for this. We do not know whether the teacher will come before the media in a few days and say that she knelt down herself. This is where our country is being taken now, isn't it? We have come to a time where education has become so much of a joke and has lost so much value that teachers are being made to kneel. This is very saddening. A public representative has made a teacher kneel because she made his daughter kneel. This is the situation we have come to. When such a backdrop exists in the country, we must take even more enthusiasm for education in our own areas.
The second phase of the Gum at the program organised by News First to support the rural community is currently underway at the fishing harbour in Hungama, Kalmatia. We now cross over live to the location.
A very good evening on the day. Well, we are coming to you live from the Hunugam area here in Tangol, where the second edition of the News First Gum Matha is currently underway. Now, we have two very special guests attending this Gum Matha, this second leg of the Gum Matha today. That is Minister of Disaster Management Mahinda Amarweera and Minister of Fisheries Dr. Rajitha Sena Ratna. Now, incidentally, this is the first occasion on which the two ministers are appearing on a single forum after the inclement weather claimed the lives of a number of fishermen. Now, today's Gum Matha is aimed at bringing forward the issues faced by the fishermen in this area and around the country. Now, We at News First through Gammatha have been able to provide a forum where the public can directly interact with the politicians as well as the officials in charge and make their complaints and grievances directly to them and get answers directly from the politicians as well as the officials in charge. For the News First team, I am Ramesh Rugal Bandara from Kirimetia.
Well, thank you, Ramesh, for that comprehensive update. Now, moving on to other local stories, the Minister of Investment Promotion Lakshman Abewardena says that a system will be introduced to grant approval within 3 months to foreign direct investment flowing into the country. The Minister expressed these views at a symposium held in Colombo yesterday.
The closing ceremony of the World Construction Symposium organized by the Sri Lanka Construction Institute was held yesterday in Colombo under the auspices of Minister of Investment Promotion Lakshman Abewardena. The theme of this year's symposium was socio-economic stability in the field of construction. A number of international organizations were also represented at this conference, organized with the support of the University of Moratuwa and the International Council of Building and Construction Research and Innovation.
යටිතල පහසුකම් වලට අපි ආයෝජන කරපු ප්‍රමාණය රටකට ඔරොත්තු නොදෙන ප්‍රමාණයක් අපි ආයෝජනය කළා.
Over the past several years, the amount that we have invested in infrastructure development cannot be borne by a country. If we are to reap the benefits of this investment, we must bring in foreign direct investment to the country. With effect from the 1st of July, when you bring in investment to the country, all the necessary approvals will be granted within 3 months. When proper investment applications are made, I must receive a copy of the application, the secretary must receive a copy of the application, and the chairman must receive a copy of the application. Within 3 months, we will look at all the obstacles that are facing these investments. I have set aside dates for monthly progress review meetings with the presidents. So during these monthly meetings with the president, I will act responsibly to obtain approvals that have not been granted through other channels.
මාසික රැස්වීමේදී අරගෙන දෙන්න මම වගකීමෙන් කටයුතු කරනවා.
The minister also expressed views at this event regarding a controversial investment project that is to be implemented in Colombo.
අපිට ආයෝජනය
When bringing investment to the country, the obstacles that we face are mostly local. When investment is being brought to this country, even if it is from James Packer, who you all know has made good investment in Australia, if it is a casino, then we cannot take that investment. We expect to have 2.5 million tourists visiting Sri Lanka by 2016. These 2.5 million tourists will not just come here, we must have entertainment. We will not provide a license for a casino along with this, but there will be entertainment.
Entertainment වලට යම්කිසි දෙයක් එයාට කරගන්න පුළුවන්.
A suspect passed away while in the custody of the Wadua police this morning. Police media spokesperson SP Buddhika Siruvardena said an assistant superintendent of police has been appointed to investigate the death.
The police media spokesperson added that the team headed by the Assistant Superintendent of Police from the Nugegore Division would investigate the death of the suspect. The suspect was admitted to the Panadura Hospital after he was taken ill and had passed away while receiving treatment. SP Buddhika Siruvardena said that the suspect was arrested in connection with the theft of a gas cylinder from a shop in the area and a number of other thefts reported in the Vadu area. The deceased has been identified as a resident of Ratmal in Men area, Polonnaruwa. Prior to this incident on the 15th of April, a suspect passed away while in the custody of the Wadu police. A number of similar incidents of suspects dying in police custody have been reported in the recent past. Another such incident was reported from the Dematagora police on the 3rd of this month. Several days prior to this, a youth from Kottawa too had passed away after he was arrested by the police on suspicion of involvement in a clash in the area and then released.